Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whenever this video finds you, I hope you're having a rad time. I'm the Figure Dude, and today we have the last part of my favorite stables in my collection. Without further ado, let's talk about some figures. Dude. Welcome back to the channel. Today is part 4 and the final part in my favorite stables in my collection. And today I'm going to start out with the Spirit Squad. So we have Kenny, Johnny, Mitch, Nikki, and Mikey. Not in that order. I can only remember Nikki because that is Dolph Ziggler, and Kenny because that is Kenny Dykstra in the middle. And I think this might be Mitch, but I'm not sure. So we've got the Spirit Squad, and they were not a big part. They were a part of the Ruthless Aggression era. They were the cronies for the McMahons for a little bit. They feuded with DX, and it was honestly a kind of memorable feud. It was just weird. It was 5 guys that were all really athletic. They were supposed to be male cheerleaders. I don't know why, but they wrestled, and I couldn't stand them. And I was, it was like 2005 maybe that they were wrestling. So I was 12, 13 years old. So of course I thought a bunch of male cheerleaders in WWE were like corny and annoying. But once I got older and once I started customizing, I was like, man, I have to make these guys. And I tried to use different formulas and everything to make them as accurate as I could height wise, and like they all have the same legs, so I had to get creative as far as how I was going to do the torsos and everything. And as far as scale goes, they're not perfect, but like I said, I did as best as I could. These are all Jack's heads. I picked all of them up from a flea market not a flea market, it's a toy store in Oklahoma, and it was like this big room full of Jack's figures, and I was going through it. I found one of these Spirit Squad figures, and I was like, oh man, maybe there'll be others. And then I went through and I found just bodies, like they were busted and the heads were missing. So I emptied out like 3 huge storage bins of Jack's figures onto this floor, picked out a few other ones, and I found the heads in the bottom and got them for like a dollar or something, because why would anyone want to buy a single head from a toy store? So I got them all relatively cheap, and I'm pretty sure they're like a decent price on like eBay or something. But I think I did these for Work in Progress Wednesday a long time ago, like the very early in the channel. So I've got it all there, but I had to get the Spirit Squad in here because they were just a ridiculous group, and it makes me smile when I see them on my shelf because I finally got them all together. Next up is kind of an odd one, and if you're looking at this, if you watched during the New Generation era and you're wondering what stable was Diesel a part of, that's a fine question, because he was never a part of one. He did kind of have a team. He won the tag titles, maybe, now that I think about it, with Shawn Michaels. So we've got the Defining Moments Texas attire Shawn Michaels in here, and I'm sure you're looking at them thinking, no, they're still not a stable, so we might as well go ahead and fill things out here. We've got the WrestleMania 10 Razor Ramon. I think that as far as attire goes, it's not the best looking one, but it's very iconic, and I do like the head sculpt, even though the hair is kind of odd. And if you're thinking this is still not a stable, you'd still be correct. So we're going to go ahead and bring my custom 1, 2, 3 kid in here to balance out the picture a little bit. We've got 4 there. And then if you're still thinking we do not have a stable, you are still correct, because technically these guys were never an on-screen stable. until the one time they were, and then they all got in trouble, except the only person that got in trouble was Triple H, because they were not supposed to be on screen together. These are the members of the Clique, and while most people don't have fond things to say about this collection of guys, they were very influential, for better or worse, during their time together. They're in the Hall of Fame in WWE together, so I thought it was fair to put them in here. I really like all these figures, and I kind of wanted to sneak them into here. So the Hunter Hearst Helmsley Network Spotlight figure is really nice. I think it's one of the better Triple H figures that we've gotten. I really like the soft goods coat and everything. I like his ponytail, how they did that on the back there. Like I said, WrestleMania 10 Razor, that came with the 2-pack we just got recently. Not that recently, within the last year, I guess, with Shawn Michaels. And then the Diesel, I think that's one of their original Elite ones, maybe. I don't remember. I picked it up off the secondary market, and I think I took that jacket from the Ultimate Edition, or his vest from the Ultimate Edition. Shawn Michaels, like I said, is from the Defining Moments pack we just got. I say just got. I just picked that up recently, but it had been sitting on ringside for a while. And then my custom 1-2-3 Kid. So this is the attire I think of with 1-2-3 Kid. We've gotten 2 versions of him, and they've both been light blue, which has kind of annoyed me. This is like the Jax version I had, and it's got the 1-2-3 on the side. And then this is actually a Jax head sculpt, so I put that on there. It's a little bit different than what we've gotten from Mattel, but I do like their figures as well. And I could have picked a different version of all of these. Maybe not Hunter Hearst Helmsley. I think that's the only real version we got like that. But I wanted to throw the Clique in here just because. And if you don't like it, you can argue with WWE for putting this stable in their own Hall of Fame. Moving on. Next up is a little bit of a mix. I have the NWO, but I didn't just do the Wolfpack. I didn't just do NWO Black and White, and there are still figures. I'm having such a hard time tracking down the Monday Night Wars set, so I do not have all the pieces for the Disciple, and I'll throw him in there. They're giving us the what is Virgil's name in WC? Vincent. They're giving him as a Build-A-Figure, and then there's plenty of other members you could add for the NWO, but here I have Lex Luger, Conan, Scott Hall, Buff Bagwell, the ringside exclusive Hogan, which I torso swapped to make an Ultimate Edition, Six, or X-Pac, who this is his 3rd time making the showcase for the stables here, and I didn't even put X Factor in because they're a trio. So of course, you can't leave out X Factor, but that basically makes X-Pac the greatest stablemate of all time. It basically is what I'm trying to get at. Then we've got Kevin Nash, and we've got Sting, and we have Macho Man. So these were a lot of fun to make and track down. So Lex Luger was in the Legends line, and then he had a Chase figure that I unfortunately was not able to track down. The Conan is a custom that I made that I'm very fond of. I really like how that turned out. Scott Hall is Elite 51, and I am, as of recording, still waiting on that Ultimate Edition 2-pack that I'm very excited for. Buff Bagwell is an Ultimate Edition custom. Like I said, Ric Flair, I don't know where that was going. Hulk Hogan is a ringside exclusive that I torso swapped. Six, this version was a Walmart exclusive in one of their like Build-A-Figure sets or Build-A-Set sets, maybe. That Kevin Nash is a ringside exclusive, as well as Sting and Macho Man. So there was a time where they were giving us a bunch of NWO ringside exclusives, and I remember before Hogan got booted from WWE, not the first time, when he got booted for the tape scandal, he was supposed to have a bunch of figures coming out, including his NWO Hollywood look, and I remember Bill saying that was going to be like the year of NWO, and then we did end up getting a bunch of NWO stuff, but I've always really, really liked this Sting. I know a lot of people have good things to say about it. I think his torso could be a little bit bigger. but that's just nitpicking a little bit. And then I decided to put this Macho Man in here, even though we do have the black and white Ultimate Edition, just because I'm very nostalgic about that look. I had the Toy Biz figure. When I think of WCW Macho Man, that's just kind of what I think of. So I wanted to put that in here. I don't think that soft goods shirt came with him, and I did head swap him with, and then I also gave him wrist gauntlets, so he had the bigger gloves. But fix things up a little bit here. Buff and Conan were both on Work in Progress Wednesday, but I want to get some chunk of the NWO in here, so this was the group that I went with. Alright, and as I start to wrap things up here, I don't know if you can hear it in the video, but it is pouring here, so it is kind of, hopefully it's not picking up too much, but if you think you hear something, it's just the end of the video here. We've got a monsoon coming down outside. But anyway, our second to last group we've got here is the Hart Foundation, and all of these are, well, nope, 3 of the 5 figures here are Mattel releases. Official releases, didn't touch those up at all. The Brian Pillman, I do not have the Legends figure. I want it. I don't want to spend the secondary market price on it. Maybe I'm like a small sliver of me is thinking we might end up getting his figures again with his son being back in WWE, but then obviously we're not getting a WWE Owen Hart anytime soon as far as I'm aware. So this is Owen's second appearance, which does not quite get him up there in the same elite tier as X-Pac, but his custom here, same formula. Chad Gable with Tommaso Ciampa lower legs, a head from House 14. This one I did not have to put a small screw through the neck to hold the neck peg in. The Elite 43? Maybe, I don't remember. The Elite Anvil right here was a Chase figure. I think it is really, really nice. I really like that head sculpt and the jacket. The Monday Night Wars Bret Hart Ultimate Edition I think looks fantastic. No, some people don't love the sculpts. With the glasses, I think it is a very, very nice sculpt, especially for this version of Bret. I really like the updated molding with the jacket they gave us for his Ultimate here. I've always liked this look for British Bulldog. I think it looks good. His jacket as well. Got the correct one on there. We did get that in the Greatest Hits line, which I have never seen the Legends Greatest Hits figures in my store. Never seen a single one of them hit my targets. I don't know if I'm just missing them or my area's just not getting them, but it's not, I haven't like really wanted any of them besides King Booker, but it's been annoying to not be able to find any of them. And then the Brian Pillman, like I said, I want to pick up his Legends figure. This was really just a very simple like street gear kind of to throw together for him. It's just like it was like a Dean Ambrose, and then I had that Hart Foundation shirt, and I threw a vest on him, like, and then one of his a battle pack head of his that I had. So very simple for these guys, but I'm glad I have some semblance of the Hart Foundation as pieced as well as I can. So we've got one more group to get, and then we are going to be out of here. And then who else could I end it with but the Bloodline? And I don't have the Bloodline 2.0 in here. I'm going to give them their own separate showcase because I've made customs of all of those. So I wanted to get the OG Bloodline in here, and I do have Mr. Paul Heyman, the wise man here. And honestly, it just kind of threw off the balance of the... Okay, Paul lost his privileges, so there's Amazon 3-pack Paul. Great figure, fantastic figure. He got his time to shine. So we've got Ultimate Edition Roman Reigns here with the belt from his Elite 113, Elite maybe. And then Sami Zayn from the Survivor Series Wave. Solo Sikoa from like 102, 103, around that area when they remade him with his new formula, which was way better. Everything about that was better. And then we've got the Usos in their red attire. So all of these match from Survivor Series, and it took a little bit to get all of these in their matching attire. And as of recording, we still don't have a black Sami Zayn that matches with the correct look for his pants. We've got him in a black attire, but it's all pre and post Bloodline. So I think all 5 of these are fantastic. I put a knee brace on Solo, but that's it. I didn't fix up anything. No, some people don't like the torsos on those Usos, and that is a perfectly understandable complaint, but since I have the shirt on them, it's not a deal breaker for me. We've got true effects on everything, double jointed arms, and I just think these look so good together. So I wanted to end with these guys. I think they look great. I love this Ultimate Edition Roman. I could just keep talking about these, but I did do a showcase actually for the Bloodline 1.0. So I guess that kind of puts my point about Bloodline 2, that makes my point there kind of moot. But anyway, I'm not going to keep rambling about that. I want to end with these guys. Everyone now, maybe more fondly, loves the Bloodline. Like, I think people, now that we've moved on from that chunk where it was kind of dragging a little bit with the story, people can talk a little more fondly about it. But anyway, I'm just yapping here. I need to wrap it up. If you made it all the way to the end through all of my gibbering and jabbering, thank you very much. I appreciate it. If you're subscribed, I appreciate that. If you're not, you might as well subscribe because we've got some good stuff coming. We've got plenty on the channel if you want to go check it out already. Outside of that, please continue to like, share, comment. I always appreciate it. And remember, you can't buy happiness, but you can buy more action figures. Figure Dude out.